وصحبه أجمعين. يروي مسلم في صحيحه عن أم sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Tonight's hadith is from the collection of Imam Muslim, so it's an authentic chain of narration, narrated to us by Salama radiallahu anha, and this is for the theme of Hajj and Dhul Hijjah, so it'll be short inshallah, but it's inshallah it'll be beneficial. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دخلت العشر وأراد أحدكم أن يضحي فلا يمس من شعره وبشره شيئا. That if the Prophet said, if the 10 of Dhul Hijjah enter upon you and you wish or you intend to sacrifice, so to do udhiyah or qurbani, do not remove, then they should not remove from their hair or their skin anything. And so there's there's a fiqhi aspect to this. There's a difference of opinion between scholars regarding, is this a mandatory obligation that if you intend to sacrifice that you cut from your nails, or you can't cut from your nails or your hair or your skin during the 10, so it starts the night before Dhul Hijjah, the Maghrib of the night of the first of Dhul Hijjah, all the way till the sacrifice is done. Can you take away from any of that? Is that a must? Or can is it permissible that there's leniency you can take from your hair and skin and so on? And there's a difference of opinion with scholars. If Imam Hanbali says that it's an obligation, you have to do it. Imam Shafi'i and Maliki say you should do it, it's mustahab. It's discouraged if you take away from your skin or your hair or your nails. And then Imam Abu Hanifa said that it's permissible that you could still cut your hair and so on if you intend to sacrifice. I don't want to focus on the differences of opinion. I'm going to encourage you inshallah to do it if you intend on sacrificing, to do it. And this is the reflection for tonight. A couple of points inshallah ta'ala. Why is it important to do? Well, there's a reward to it, obviously, the fact that the Prophet ﷺ advised us to do it. So if you do it, there's a reward. But also, when we think about the Hujjaj and they enter a state of ihram, there are certain things that they are not allowed to do, that they're haram, right? Several things. This hadith mentions a few of them for those who are not performing Hajj but want to do udhiyah, right? And so it's a way to connect us to the Hujjaj. You are basically, there's a spiritual connection, and the spirit of Hajj you're bringing to yourself. And that fact that you're able to unite, this practice can unite us with the Hujjaj as an ummah and connect us with them, I think is very beautiful. And then the second reason why I think it's also important is, if you kind of look at Ramadan, we can't eat and drink, and certain basic things that are halal, you're not allowed to do when you're fasting. And we know that the goal of Ramadan is taqwa, right? So when we're in a state where the halal for us becomes haram, then we are more mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? The result of fasting is taqwa. We talk about that a lot in Ramadan. This gives you also an opportunity that the things that are halal to you that you can't do for these 10 days, right, increases you in that being present, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that God consciousness. So just because you can't do certain things that you normally can, they're halal, and you're holding back, and so it increases you that awareness and that consciousness and connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know with the udhiyah, لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهُ الْحُمْهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنْكُمْ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Hajj that its meat and its blood will not reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What reaches Allah is your taqwa. And so these 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, which are extremely important, the best 10 days of the year, having any way to increase our taqwa so that we are more mindful and more conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is beneficial, because it will drive us to do khair and to do good. And that is the goal of these 10 days. So this practice at least gives us that extra reminder and consciousness to do that. So I hope that we can practice this hadith. And those, if you're doing it for your household, if you're doing udhiyah for your household, it's the head of the household that will refrain from cutting their hair and nails and so on. The rest of the family is still able to do that. So I hope that was of benefit. يروي الإمام مسلم في صحيحه عن أم سلمة رضي الله عنها قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دخلت العشر وأراد أحدكم أن يضحي فلا يمس من شعره وبشره شيئا. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، نستغفرك.